Hello, my dear children. Myself Sujata. In the last session, we discussed what is democracy, different forms of government, and features of democracy. In this session, we will learn about important features of democracy with the help of some examples. Can we see free and fair electoral competition in China? In China, the elections do not offer the people any serious choice. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. As you all know, the present president of China is Xi Jinping. In China, elections are regularly held after every 5 years for electing the country's parliament called Chungao Renmin Debiao Daohi, that is the National People's Congress. The National People's Congress has the power to appoint the president of the country. It has nearly 3,000 members elected from all over China. Some members are elected by the army. Before contesting elections, a candidate needs the approval of the Chinese Communist Party. Only those who are members of the Chinese Communist Party or 8 smaller parties allied to it were allowed to contest elections held in 2002-2003. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. Should we consider the election described above as an example of people electing their rulers? Now let us see the elections in Mexico. Since its independence in 1930, Mexico holds elections after every 6 years to elect its president. The country has never been under a military or dictator's rule. But until 2000, every election was won by a party called Institutional Revolutionary Party or simply PRI. Opposition parties did contest elections but never managed to win. The PRI used many dirty tricks to win elections. All those who were employed in government offices had to attend its party meetings. Teachers of government schools used to force parents to vote for the PRI. Media ignored the activities of the opposition parties except to criticize them. Sometimes the polling booths were shifted from one place to another in the last minute, which made it difficult for people to cast their vote. The PRI spent large sum of money in the campaign for its candidates. From these examples, we can say that free and fair electoral competition is a must for democratic conditions in a country. Holding elections of any kind is not sufficient. The elections must offer a real choice between political alternatives. And it should be possible for people to use this choice to remove the existing rulers if they wish so. For example, in China, the election does not offer the people any serious choice. They have to choose the only ruling party and the candidates approved by it. The government is always formed by the Communist Party. Similarly, in Mexico, people seem to really have a choice, but in practice, they had no choice. That is, people should have the right to remove the existing ruler if they wish so. So, a democracy must be based on free and fair elections where those currently in power have a fair chance of losing. Another important feature in a democracy is that each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. So, one person, one vote, one value. In a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. The principle of universal adult franchise has now come to be accepted almost all over the world. Yet, there are many instances of denial of equal right to vote. For example, until 2015 in Saudi Arabia, women did not have the right to vote. Estonia, a country in Europe, has made its citizenship rules in such a way that people belonging to Russian minority find it difficult to get the right to vote. In Fiji, an island near to Japan, the electoral system is such that the vote of an indigenous Fiji has more value than that of an Indian Fiji. Indigenous means one who is native to that area. Democracy should be based on a fundamental principle of political equality. This gives us the third feature of democracy, that is, in a democracy, each adult citizen must have one vote and each vote must have one value. Can government be undemocratic? Yes. Popular government can be undemocratic and popular leader can also be autocratic. Autocratic means a ruler who has absolute power. Let us take the example of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe attained independence from white minority rule in the year 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by ZANU-PF, the party that led the freedom struggle, and its leader, Robert Mugabe, ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly and always won by ZANU-PF. The leaders of ZANU-PF were not close to the values of democracy. President Mugabe was popular but also used unfair practices in elections. Over the years, his government has changed the constitution several times to make the president more powerful and less accountable. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meetings disrupted. Public protests and demonstrations against the government were declared illegal. There was a law that limited the right to criticize the president. Television and radio were controlled by the government and gave only the government's version. Journalists were harassed and ignored some court judgments and pressurized judges when they went against the government. Finally, he was forced out of the office in the year 2017. Robert Mugabe was the Prime Minister of Zimbabwe from 1980 to 1987 and President from 1987 to 2017. So we can say that holding election is not sufficient to make a country democratic. The example of Zimbabwe shows that popular approval of the rulers is necessary in a government, but it is not sufficient. It is equally important to look before and after the elections. There should be sufficient room for normal political activity, including political opposition, in the period before elections. This requires that the state should respect some basic rights of the citizen. They should be free to think, to have opinions, to express these in public, to form associations, to protest, and take other political actions. Everyone should be equal in eyes of law. These rights must be protected by an independent judiciary whose orders are obeyed by everyone. Okay, let us see how the government should be after the elections. A democratic government cannot do whatever it likes simply because it has won an election. It has to respect some basic rules. In particular, it has to respect some guarantees to the minorities. Every office bearer has certain rights and responsibilities assigned by the Constitution and the law. Each of these is accountable not only to the people but also to other independent officials. So, from these aspects, we can conclude that a democratic government rules within limits set by constitutional law and citizens' rights. Let us sum up what we have learned. We started with a simple definition that democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people. We examined the terms like ruler, election, people, and government within the definition. For example, Parvez Musharraf as a ruler, elections in China and Mexico, citizens in Saudi Arabia, Estonia, and Fiji, and the government in Zimbabwe. And we learned the four features of democracy as a form of government. Accordingly, democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people and they take all major decisions. Elections offer a choice and fair opportunity to the people to change the current rulers. This choice and opportunity is available to all the people on an equal basis, and the exercise of this choice leads to a government limited by basic rules of the Constitution and citizens' right. Hope you have understood. See slides repeatedly and prepare notes. Thank you.